Hey everyone, it's new pen day. I feel like it's been a minute since I've had one of these, but today I'm going to be showing you my new Gravitas Bifrost pen, which is a little bit of a tongue twister, but is also, not going to lie, kind of fun to say. This pen is a collaboration between Figboot on pens and Gravitas, which is a pen maker based in Ireland. I also plan to ink it up and do a little bit of a writing sample, but I plan to use this in my May currently inked, and so I may come back at the end of May and kind of give an update on what I think about it after a longer period of use. I want to toss a quick disclaimer up here now though. This pen had a limited run of about 200. I don't think that there are any plans to make any more. So I'm sorry if this gets your hopes up, but it's just so pretty and unique that I wanted to make sure that I shared it with all of you in case, you missed out or you had never seen it before, to keep your eyes open for something like this, because it is really cool. But you know what's not cool? When your brand new microphone decides halfway through your clip to just start making crazy sounds. Anyway, this project took over 2 years to come to market, but I'm really hoping that the team that worked on it realized how in demand this was since it sold out so quickly, especially since the goal was to deliver a really, awesome pen at a fairly attainable price. The price was $129 USD, which after shipping domestically cost me $144. I think the international shipping was $25. So maybe they will revisit another run. Who knows? Sort of like the way Esterbrook is doing for the Coffee Monster Co. collab, but probably not at that scale. I first heard about this pen on Reddit when name recommendations were being requested. Bifrost was the top voted on Reddit and Slack, and the two people who suggested the name received a free pen. The name ties into the rainbow-like aesthetic and the Norse mythology, which I'll get into when I do the writing sample. So anyway, once I saw the release date posted, that it was going to be April 12th at 11 Eastern, I immediately set an alarm on my phone because I wanted to make sure I got this. I had a feeling it would sell out, which it did, especially being in such limited quantities. It did take a little while to ship, but I kind of expected that since it was noted that David from Figboot on Pens would be handling all of that coordination and distribution himself. So I actually received this pen a little while ago, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually make a video for this. But here we are in my new background with my new light setup, my new microphone. So new all around. All right, but actually I know I've been kind of toying with the pen, but let's talk about some of the details before I ink it up and give you a writing sample. So the look of this pen was actually inspired by a pen called the Leonardo Prisma, which was an exclusive to the Italian retailer, I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm going to try, Stilo and Stile, I think, I'm pretty sure. But the look and feel of this is based on Gravitas's flagship model, but it's pretty customized. And I thought it was interesting that flagship is the name of the model. It's not the company's flagship model. You follow what I'm saying? It's a little weird, but the design and the shape is a torpedo shape body. It is made of frosted polycarbonate here. The trim and the accents are PVD treated steel. I had to look this up to figure out what the heck that is, but apparently PVD is physical vapor. I want to say deposition, but I think it's deposition, maybe. But it is more corrosion resistant, and it is it's like hardier than traditional electroplated coatings. And yeah, so the cartridge converter, it comes with one, like I was showing you before when I had it disassembled. It also fits a standard international cartridge. It doesn't come with one of those. It just comes with the converter. And then the piston knob right here is clear, which I think is actually really cool because when you put it in here, you're only going to see the color of the ink here, and you're not going to be distracted by a really dark color in the background. I thought that was a really cool attention to detail, something really neat. And it is noted that it's not an eyedropper candidate due to the metal components inside. I'm assuming that has potentially something to do with the plating and things like that. I wanted you guys to hear this. Let me put this back together a little bit so it's easier to hold. So a little close up on the nib. And you can see this really cool rainbow effect all around. And this is grooved for like longer writing sessions to make sure that your hands don't slip. But it is a really fine groove. I'm going to try to get this close to the microphone so you hear the sound. It's very, very fine. It almost, the grooves are not so big that you feel them as grooves, but and this is going to sound really weird, but it makes it feel fuzzy, if that makes sense. Like it makes it feel like it has a fuzz to it that's actually kind of pleasant to hold. And then the other great thing about it is that it has a really good weight right here. I really like the way it sits. Now I would probably never post it. Actually, you can't post it. What was I thinking? Not only would that make it too long, but even if you could post it, I wouldn't want to mess up this. Wow, that would look crazy. Yeah, no. So, which is fine because most times when I do my writing, I write like this. I fiddle with the cap and then I write. It came in several different nib options. Everything from extra fine to a fine flex. I got mine in a medium because that's what I'm really liking writing with right now. So when it comes to picking a color for this pen, I went through my ink journal and flipped through all of the blues and kind of purples and stuff that I have, which you guys now know what I have because of the Ink Madness stuff. And I just wasn't finding anything that was, I don't know, that was perfect for it. Now, I do have the new Colorverse 2025 Ink of the Year, the Blue Snake, I think it's called, but I haven't really swatched that or played around with it yet. So I was honestly leaning a little bit more towards this Mad Half Hour with the blue, because I think that'd look really pretty here. But then I remembered that I need to do my April Currently Inked. And for my April Currently Inked, come hell or high water, I am putting this in a pen. I have been waiting to write with this. I'm excited about this. And so I want to make sure that I write with this pen for a while and see if I like it. But also, it kind of matches. It's a bluey purple. It'll be a bluey purple. It'll be fine. So I'm going to go ink this pen up with this and come right back and we'll do a short writing sample.
Okay, so here are my initial thoughts. It writes just as well as a normal stainless Yovo nib, I believe it is. It's hard. It doesn't have a lot of bounce to it. It is smooth. It does put down a nice amount of ink. You cannot reverse write with it. This is just, I don't know if there's something on my nib particularly, but when I try to reverse write, let me let you hear this. It like wants to cut the paper almost. So will not reverse write with this one. It does have a good weight to it, but I think that this weight might be a little bit too much for me for longer format writing, but I don't use my pens for that. I use my pens for journaling, and I write journal entries a couple times a day as the day passes. So for me, I think that's going to be great. We can take a quick look at the writing itself. I know that I don't have the best handwriting. I get that. But you should be able to see kind of the way it pools in some areas of it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am so excited to finally have this thing inked up that this pen could be trash and I'd still be happy. But luckily it's not. So, and I think in the end, I was kind of like, I didn't really care if this didn't match at all, but in the end, it kind of does match the pen rather well. So I'm excited about it. So that has been my review of the Gravitas Bifrost. Let me know if you actually snagged one of these and what you think about it. And also let me know in the comments if you'd like something like this in the future and maybe your interest can help get a rerun or maybe a new version made. All right. That's it. If you like this video, please click like. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.